guys, a very warm welcome to Motorhoming Adventures.
Motorhoming Adventures.
Absolutely, this is our new channel, and the old one being...
It was offshore and onshore adventures, but here we're going to bring you all things motorhoming, the UK, Europe, further afield, who knows.
Absolutely, and we'll also be bringing across some of our original films that are on our old channel, or motorhoming films of course, and we'll be bringing them onto this channel so you don't miss out.
Absolutely, yeah. So stay tuned. All things motorhoming, technical, trips, travels, you name it. It's great to have you along.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you enjoy the channel, please do subscribe.
Oh, of course. Please do subscribe. And of course, the odd like is good too.
Thank you. Well, that was very interesting. If you can guess what this is, then we'll give you a shout out. We did wonder what it was when we discovered it in our tyre.
Yes, in the tyre. Only by chance, as the wheels started making a very odd noise when we were literally about 3 miles from home, weren't we?
Yes, yes. I wouldn't recommend it as a brace. This is a bit big for that.
No, no. It's not part of a horseshoe. We didn't run over a horse. Definitely not. At least I don't think we did, looking at the front of the van.
But it does have some very sharp, jagged edges where it's come off something else. What do we reckon it is?
Well, you'll just have to watch the film to find out. So, have a look at the footage, not of us going over it, but then of the repair and recovery process that we had to go through after doing 400 odd miles, 4 miles from home, and we had to go through this. Well guys, you're probably wondering what on earth I'm doing in a fairly nondescript place. We're actually on the A478, not far out from Tenby, in fact very close to Tenby. Having come from Liverpool, North Yorkshire, North Wales this morning, it's waited until 6 miles away from home to get this. What a nuisance. And it's flatter than a flat thing from Flatland, and we've actually picked up, I felt something affecting the steering, and like a rhythmic bumping. Thought we actually had a flat, got out, looked, couldn't see anything, moved another 50 metres, same noise, so pulled in to somewhere that was relatively flat that I could get a full lock on and get under the van, have a look, and sure enough, and I'll show you when we get back to the garage, but sure enough there's an absolutely monster piece of metal stuck in the tyre. So we've limped to the side of the road, Templeton, little village of Templeton on the 478 here in Pembrokeshire, and I've now found out that the 70 odd quid I spent on roadside recovery with green flag through the Caravan and Motorhome Club was very well spent, because they've been fantastic. So a quick call to them, and they've commissioned a local garage from Pembroke Dock, Millforge Garage, who are popping out to collect us and take us back to my own garage just near us, Rumbleway service station, who look after our cars, and from a tyres point of view and servicing, less than a mile from the house, and we'll get it dumped there by the recovery. So obviously waiting for something that will look after the 7.44 metres of the K-Yacht 79. It's the 4.4 tonne version, but we're probably running just under 4 tonnes, I think, or perhaps 3.7-ish, something like that. And in fact, look out, while I'm on the subject, look out for our film in the next couple of weeks, where we are going to load this right up as full as it'll be for Spain and France, and then take it to the Weybridge when we're nipping to the Fiat dealer to have some warranty work done on another matter. So anyway, let's see what recovery turns up, and then I can show you what disappeared into the tyre as we I think just after we'd been through a couple of sets of roadworks near the village of Narberth, was where we picked up this large lump of metal. But anyway, let's see how long it takes for Millforge Garage to get to us. So while we're in fact waiting for the recovery, I'll just show you what they supplied from new with the K-Yacht 79. It's one of those foam jobbies where you shove the foam in, and they supply this little compressor which is 12 volt. Stick the foam in, sort out all these bits where you fix it to the valve of the tyre itself. In goes the foam, and inflate to the pressure with this. So of course that would or may have got us home if it was just a small hole, but as you'll see when you see the bit of metal, it's a monster great lump of metal which has made more than one hole in the tyre, and therefore this would have struggled to do anything at all. So we've gone straight for the recovery option rather than give this a fight, which I think is probably going to be in the long term a lot easier. The tyres on these on this motorhome, they're Michelin's. They're the Motorhome brand, which is Agilis, I think it's pronounced, A-G-I-L-I-S. A Motorhome camping type tyre, and they're 225s by 75s, R16s, so big old tyre. Only done just on 3,000 miles so far, so it's new. Bizarrely, the recommended tyre pressures for these as well are 79.8 psi. Not sure quite where that figure comes from. 79.8, probably a conversion from bar or something like that, but that's the pressures they run to. So in fact, once we've got the spare on, I'll give them all a check, make sure we're all up at 79.8 and running as they should. And the other thing I'll show you while I'm still waiting for the recovery truck is the tools that they supply. They are to go with the foam obviously, and the other bits and bobs. They're actually on the K-Yacht 79, this being the passenger seat here, they're actually under this seat. The tools and the bits and bobs for just round by the front seat here. You've got a similar little flap here, and you just lever this piece at the front, just lever that backwards, and it allows it to release then and drop down. It can, because it just pops out of these things, so you can actually take this right off, which makes, and pull this side out, which makes getting the spare wheel stuff out a bit easier. Just pulls out like that. And then this has got some clips. Yeah, I forgot the clips. This has got some clips that you just turn here. That allows you to then lift, you see. So there's just this single clip here, which was a quarter turn. So then out comes this box. Let's just get that out. There we go, that's the box out, sits under the seat, then this just pushes away from you to release it like that, and then in there, that's where they provide you with the bits and bobs that would help you change. Your tow hook for the front offside, where they've got that little plastic screw thing out the bumper, screw that in, that's your tow facility. And I do carry an 8-ton tow rope as well, just in case. And then they supply this jack. Obviously you can see it's lovely and shiny and new because it's never been used and isn't going to be used for this time. Bits for the jack, bits to lift it up, obviously a hefty old bit of kit to lift this van, and then the usual sort of screwdriver-y type thing, multi-tool thing that slips into this handle. So that's, if you've ever been wondering what's hiding under your seat there and haven't needed it yet, then that's where they hide it, and that's what it is. So we just fiddle that back in. That's the single clip that you've got to get back in to locate it, quarter turn it to lock it. There you go, you see the box now doesn't come out, and then just gently press that shut, clips in. So I'm told that Green Flag have been very good. They've texted me twice And I've now had a call from the garage as well to say, yep, we're on the way, and just checking the dimensions of the vehicle and where we were going. So it's all been really efficient so far, I have to say. Never had to use green flag before, and hopefully don't have to many times in the nicest possible way. But they've been very good, and we're now apparently just about 15-20 minutes away from them arriving. And so now that I've moved the wheels slightly, you can get an idea of the thing. There's this, compared to my finger, it's like half a horseshoe piece of steel straight in, with some, looks like it's got 2 or 3 spikes going around it. Lethal bit of kit. Hence my my little tube of foam wouldn't have done much, because there's at least 4 points of entry, I think, on the tyre. So yeah, well and truly knackered, and get green flag. So that's damn good. Within the hour, flatbed here. Just got to be careful of a couple of things, as you're probably aware, guys. One will be the overall height, because there's a couple of low bridges towards Tenby, so we're at 2.9-ish, call it 3 metres, and then plus the depth of the bed, which is about 1.1. So that's one thing we've got to be careful of. And then of course, as we drag it up onto that flatbed, then we've just got to be careful of this overhang here, so that it doesn't catch the back end, because there's quite a long set between the wheels and the rear of the van. So we've just got to be careful of that back end as well. So let's see how we go. And the other thing to watch, of course, will be how the strap pulls the front of the van up there. So again, just got to watch that it doesn't grab this front edge of the GRP as we start to winch it. So we've just driven the front end on, so to keep the tension, and now we're just using the winch. So that's just staying clear then of the front balance there. And now the next thing we've got to go and watch in a minute is the back end. So you can see here how low the back end is going. And we've just got a Nat's knacker down here, so I'm going to have to probably get some timber down now to try and get it up there. And there you can just see we're down to the last inch of daylight, so we've now got to do a bit of Jenga here, as our man here has affectionately called it, so that we can lift the so that as we do the next bit of winching, it just lifts this back quarter up, which is lower than the other side. But yeah, definitely slowly and steadily. Milford Garage, incidentally, folks, doing a great job here. Yeah, I'm clear of this bolt. Yeah. Look at that. Anybody who think he's done this before? That's the key bit at the Well, and by a Nat's knacker indeed, we managed to get that back end there, down the back there, get that just to lift enough so that we can get it onto the flatbed without touching that rear end at all. Great job by the technician here. And you can see with the overhang at the back here, it's certainly a squeeze to get it in. still there when we get to the other end. Right, so Mitchell with his box of tricks in the van has now got a very handy little measuring stick, and it puts us at about 4.1 metres, so to right as well clear of that wonky area on the roof there. So avoid low bridges. So, that's my local garage. Just got to try and do the reverse now and go through this nail biting bit again, where we've got to get the back end off, hopefully without touching that rear end on the ground. Fingers crossed, guys. And there we go. A nice new boot on the front offside. Needs a bit of a clean up, but fortunately the rim wasn't damaged. And our fantastic local garage, Rumbleways, I popped in there on Monday morning, first thing when they opened, and I had the van back within about 3 hours with a new tyre fitted on. That's the identical tyre, obviously the Michelin Agilis. So superb service there, and we're back on the road. A close call, but thankfully no blowout. Tyre, incidentally, for those of you who are wondering, we got at £166, which actually, when you look online, that's a pretty good price for one of these. So that plus a small fitting charge, it was still under 200 quid. Job done. But not a cheap piece of metal to drive over, that's for sure. So there was an interesting view of something I didn't expect to see Resi on the back of a pickup truck, and then she had to spend 2 nights away from home waiting for her new boot.
Yes, and I think you deserve a crown.
Yeah,
for that patience.
Yes. If it makes my hair grow, you never know, it might be useful.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that short film, and you perhaps learned a bit about getting a motorhome on and off a flatbed lorry, and some of the spare tyre processes. But anyway, until our next film.
Yes, we'll see you very soon.
And a thank you, of course, to those of you who have subscribed recently, and do give us a like if you enjoyed the film. Take care, guys. Bye now.
Bye.